Ladies and gentlemen, the following presentation is rated R, rich in real content, using strong, suggestive language. Please turn off your phone, close Facebook, and open your mind. And now, the man who has turned thousands of agents into real estate rock stars. He is known as the Expired and FSBO Guru, the Tony Robbins of real estate. He is the author of the Expired Plus System, the Presentation Plus System, and the latest program, the FSBOrino. Please welcome your coach, Borino.
All right. That's a fun intro. I never get tired of that fun. It's a lot of fun. Glad you're here with me today. Welcome. My name is Coach Borino. I've been at this for over 20 years for selling real estate in competitive Southern California market. Then I wrote a book, first on expired listings, then on for sale by owners, then on referrals, start teaching other agents. I started with my mother-in-law, if you can believe that. True story. Borino is my name and coaching is my game. I started with my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law became a real estate agent, came to me for some advice. I gave her some tips on expired listings. Next thing you know, just a few months later, she became the #1 agent in her office, totally crushed it, killed it. She said, you should go and write a book, and I did. And the rest, as they say, is history. Welcome. Is this your first time here with me? If this is your first time, very special warm welcome. Really glad to have you. We do this in our Rockstar group here on Facebook. Welcome, you guys. We broadcast it to my personal page, of course, and our friends on YouTube who watch this live or on the recording. All of you, good to have you. It's time to get our learning on, right? As Trez says very accurately, time to get your learning. Angela, good to have you. Welcome, everybody. Ben, nice to have you. Good for you to be here and learn some cool stuff. So let's jump right in. If you remember, I'm sure you do, on our previous show, we talked about leads. How do you select the right lead funnels? The market is changing. Things are not what they seem to be or what they used to be. And selecting the right source of your leads can make or break your business. So as you remember, yesterday, I gave you a whole matrix how to pick the right lead source. And I'll send you this. This is the list. For those of you who gave me your email, you are already on the system. It's going to go out later this afternoon. There are 45 lead generation sources plus 45 ideas and tips to drum up more business. And then there's a process, if you recall. There are 6 categories that you score 1 to 10. 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. Then you pick your lead funnel. So if you haven't watched that, please watch it when we finish. If you'd like a copy of this sheet, it's an Excel spreadsheet, and I also have a PDF version there if you want to print it. It has 45 different lead generation sources. Hit me up, just post your email, tell me that you want the list, give me your email so that we know where to send it, and I'll send you a free copy, of course. Check it out. This will help you. All right, now let's focus on this beautiful art here behind me, as you can see. This lovely creation will help you set up a profitable business. This really behind me is a secret to a profitable, productive, scalable real estate business. You know what I just realized? I'm not wearing my wedding ring. I was washing some stuff in the kitchen and I always take it off. I hope my wife Hannah's not watching this because that would get me in trouble. I'm so used to wearing it, it feels so weird without it. Anyway, I'm not gonna go get it now because we have to get going. So, here's the process, my friends. Step 1 is go through the list. Go through the list of different lead sources. Yesterday we talked about different ones. I will show you today where you should start and why. You're going to go through the lead sources. And my suggestion, if you want to get up and running quickly, or let's say you're a newer agent, or you've been at it for a while but it's not going very well, or you really want to scale, you need to have 4 core lead generation funnels. That's what this beautiful art represents here. Each one represents a funnel, a lead generation funnel. All right? You want to have 4. It's okay if you have 5 or 3, but I don't recommend any fewer than 3 because you don't really want to put all your eggs in one basket. Things can change, things shift, seasonal stuff, market, the economy. There are all kinds of variables that influence which source performed the best at any given time. That's number 1. And number 2, you don't want to have too many. You don't want to go too wide because then you become jack of all trade and master of none. So narrow it down to 4. Besides, if your goal is to close, and I'm just going to pull numbers out of my rectum, it's a rectum extraction process. Your numbers will be very different, of course, and I can't promise you or guarantee you're going to get any results. None of that is the purpose of that. But Let me show you something real quick before we dive in. This is why I'm glad you're here. Anna just posted this here on Rockstars today. So I have been watching Borino's videos relentlessly. Today I converted a FSBO into a listing following his tips. Go Borino. How cool is that? Congratulations, Anna. I'm super proud of you. That's so awesome. So you're in the right place. You're learning stuff that works. See, I'm not here to blow smoke up your ass and pretend, oh, this is easy, do this. Or this is simple, do that. No. My job is to share with you ideas and strategies, like we're going to do right now, that work. Not based on how easy or complicated, how much discomfort it requires. I'm not going to ask you to do any shenanigans, anything illegal, unethical, of course. But I'm going to ask you to do effective stuff that works. So we're going to push aside this whole, I don't feel like it, I don't like it, nobody gives a shit. Do stuff that works, where you can find clients, help people, make money, have a good business. Make sense? You with me? So drop this whole nonsense about I don't feel like it, don't want to do it. Focus on what works. So what we're going to focus on is HPL. Start with those. That's the core of your business. HPL. What does that stand for? High probability leads. High probability to find them. So it's not too complicated. You don't have to go through 17 different steps and 3 systems just to identify a lead. High probability to connect with them, where it's not that difficult to track down the seller either in person, on the phone, with text, email, all these communication channels. And high probability to convert them. See, here's the difference. Regular lead. When I used to door knock, City of Whittier door knocked it twice. There were like 80,000 homes I door knocked. It's a good exercise. You meet people. It's a good lead generation system. It's not bad. But you have to go through a lot of homes, a lot of closed doors that nobody opens. And a lot of the leads you're going to get will be a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. A lot of online leads. We're just thinking about it, maybe a year from now, 2 years from now. That's the problem. Where with high probability leads, the ones I'm going to share with you, many of them are already in the process. They're already doing it. They're not just thinking about it down the road sometime in the future. They're already in the process. That's why they're so easy to convert and they're so easy to work with. Now, yes, you need a system for it. You need some tools for it. You need some skill. But if I were to start all over again, these would be my 4 funnels. If I were to have a good business and I want to really crush it, take it up a notch, this would be my funnel. So you ready? Here's what I would recommend. Funnel numero 1 would be expired listings. I would start with expired listings. Why? Because you can get on your MLS. And the hardest part, identifying, finding leads, has been done for you. All you have to do is log into your MLS and pull expireds for today, for yesterday, last week, last month, 6 months ago. You have potential leads. You with me? You have to sift through a lot of stuff to find people who are raising one way or another, indicating, I want to sell. I have some intention of selling. How do I know that? By their actions. Think about it. Somebody went through the trouble of finding the agent, interviewing the agent, signing the paperwork, putting the sign in the front yard, popping a lockbox on their front door, cleaning the house in most cases, although I've seen some where the cleanup was very necessary, doing all that stuff. So through their actions, I can identify, yes, they want to do something. Does that make sense? So now, if you want to take it up even further, get a lead provider system like Espresso Agent. They will aggregate these for you every day. They will cross-reference, they will look up their email, they will look up their phone number, and if possible, they will get it for you. But you have the leads at your fingertips. So you don't have to break your back, you don't have to spend a lot of money, you don't have to do a lot of work. The leads are delivered literally to you. Are you with me? So that should be your number 1 source. That's a no-brainer. And especially if you're on a limited budget, or you're just getting going, or you don't want to spend a lot of money, that's not very expensive. Compared to all these other systems that are out there, like direct mail or online advertising, that's going to set you back a few bucks. Not much than that. Not much more than that. Okay? So that should be our funnel number 1. Funnel number 2, for sale by owners. Good old FSBOs. Now, why they should be your funnel? Same reason. I checked Zillow and Craigslist last week. Make Me Move and for sale by owners, there were 98 potential leads in my area. 98. So now statistically, if you recall the stats, 7 out of 10 for sale by owners end up listing with an agent in about a month or 2. 7 out of 10. Lots of opportunities. So out of those 9,800, there are about 70 potential listings. Not all of them are good. Not all of them are motivated, of course. But don't you think there is opportunity there? Hell yeah, for the same reason. They're already doing it. They're already raising their hand. They're already saying, I want to sell. And it's true. At the beginning, they don't like real estate agents. They don't want to work with real estate agents. They don't want to pay commission. But you and I have something they don't have. Data. Data, facts. And the fact is, majority of FSBOs end up listing. Just like here, and this varies by area, majority of expired listings will at one point try again. Now, how many depends on your area, time of the year, and other factors. But if you go back and track these, you're going to see that there's a boatload of opportunities. Many of these expireds, some go to the same agent, some never list, but some do with a different agent. Why not you? Why not you? Remember what we said yesterday. Mindset plus systems plus skills plus action will get them. So that's number two. That's funnel number two. Expireds, new and old, tons of listings, and just wait. Come end of December, there'll be hundreds of them. Many of you have reported on December last year, 300, 400, 500 expired listings. Guys, if you do this right, if you set yourself up with the right mindset, the right system, the right skill, you can just grab those and crush the first half of next year. No question about it. No question about it. All right, what's the third one? Referrals. That's your sphere plus referrals. So that means your past clients, if you have any, and everybody else you know. Should be our third funnel. Excellent source of business. Why? Again, data. See, I don't teach theory. I teach stuff either I did myself or I have data to back it up. Not ideas, data. So, data. According to the United States Census Bureau, 12% of Americans will move, they project, in 2020. 12%. That means out of 100 people that you have in your sphere, this could be your neighbors, your friends, your buddies from college, your coworkers, past coworkers, your kids' friends' parents. Out of all those people in the circle, out of 100, there are 12 potential moves. Lots of opportunity. And referrals, just like expireds and FSBOs, are easy because they usually come to you. All you have to do is have a system to nurture those relationships. Are you with me? The fourth funnel I would set up is an open house. If at all possible, do an open house. Why? Because the people who come have some type of interest. Yes, of course, some of them are just curious neighbors. They want to see what kind of carpet they have and how the house is decorated. That's cool. But majority have some type of interest. And you know the best leads you're going to get in an open house are buyers who need to sell something first. Those are the greatest. So if you do a good open house, get 20, 30 people at an open house, do it twice a month, you have a nice stream of leads. So these would be the four. You can add another one if you want, if you have the money for it and you want to build a system, but it requires a system. You can add a Facebook to it. You can add other things like door knocking, and you can combine. But this should be your four high probability core lead generation funnels. And like we discussed yesterday, this is active lead generation. Other than the referrals, these are active lead generation sources. That means I can control it, I can scale it, I'm in control. I don't just passively sit at my desk and hope and wait that somebody's going to show up and somebody's going to call me and somebody will be interested. I hustle. I go out there. I bust my butt. Now, 50% of your time, effort, and energy needs to be spent on these funnels daily. Whichever ones you decide to do, my recommendation is just stick with these. Half of your day needs to be spent on those. If you're broke, if you don't own income properties, if you don't travel a lot, if you don't have a lot of money in the bank for just in case scenarios, if you don't drive a nice car, if you don't wear a nice watch, if your kids are not in great schools, if you don't live in an awesome home where you really love it, it's because you're not doing this half the time. You don't spend 2, 3, 4 hours a day doing this shit. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's fun. Sometimes it's boring. Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes there is distraction. Sometimes there is discomfort. But guess what? Nobody cares. It's part of the job. And it can be very rewarding and very profitable job. I mean, you sit on a potential to make what? $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year doing this shit. You don't have to go to college for year after year after year. You don't have to have $300,000, $400,000 student loans that normally a medical graduate would have, or a lawyer. You don't have to do any of that. You just go out and hustle. Build some systems, the right mindset, get some skills going, daily action. All right, so that's part one of this. As you can see, there are 3 parts. So now what's happening, full multimedia for your entertainment. Is it making sense so far? Are you with me so far? Now, don't get caught into this, well, I've heard this before, I've tried it before, it's a drunken monkey bullshit trying to keep the status quo. Big danger. Danger, danger, danger. Don't get stuck into that same loop thinking, because that's what got you in the rut or on a flat or backwards in the first place. You need to keep climbing. You need to keep going. And the first way to unlock yourself is just be open to the possibility that this will totally work. I have students doing it all day long. You saw the evidence just a moment ago. So now here's what's going to happen. You're getting these, and they go into this little magic box. This will be your CRM, Contact Relationship Management, or Client Relationship Management, Contact Management System, CMS, CRM, same thing. The most frequently asked questions I get all the time: which one do you recommend, Borino? First, a disclaimer, I don't get paid by any of these companies. But there are three I recommend, three I suggest you look into. There is about 7,000 of them out there, and at the end, they all are decent. They will do what you need it to do, which is keep in touch with your leads. But the three I recommend, especially if you're on a budget, look into LionDesk. Very good, very robust system, will get things done for you. Keep in touch, organize your leads, keep the campaigns going. Very good one, LionDesk. The second one is Realty Juggler. Very affordable, good system built by real estate agents for real estate agents. Again, good stuff, it will get the job done. Third one, especially if you have the money, you want to spend more money and want to get something really all out with all the bells and whistles, look into a Follow Up Boss. Follow Up Boss, all three really good. Anyway, whichever one you decide, learn it, then you're going to delegate it, but first you got to learn it. So that's your CRM. It's divided into three parts, as you see in this lovely drawing. So now, part one is where your leads will go. Leads. This is for your leads. So you're getting all these leads coming into your CRM. All of these get fed here, every single one of them. What is a lead? Lead is a potential buyer or a seller who has some kind of intention of moving. Whether you talk to them or not, how motivated they are or not, you don't know yet. It's just a lead. It's a potential something. This can be an expired listing that expired yesterday. This can be a for sale by owner you saw 2 streets over in your neighborhood. This can be anything. Yes? So that's a lead. Once the call to action, your goal with the lead is to have a conversation. To talk to them, to find out what is it they're trying to do, who these people are they realistic, are they motivated, what are their plans, and what is the timeline. Two very important factors here with the lead. Now, some you will have a conversation with, some you will not. Some expireds you will reach, some you will not. As long as you don't have a conversation with them, the objection is to have a conversation with them and move them to a prospect. That's the second part. Once you talk to them, they become a prospect. That means you have some kind of an idea. We want to move to Florida. We'd like to be there in about 3 months. Our daughter moved there a couple of years ago, and now they have kids, so we'd like to be closer to the grandkids. Now I know how soon, what are they trying to do. I can explore now. Here, the objective is to build trust and go for an appointment. So, I'm feeding the leads into my CRM. They become leads. In some instances, I may have a good conversation with the for sale by owner, really hit it off, we have a good relationship. They go straight to becoming a prospect. That's a possibility as well. I'm keeping in touch here. This is where the majority of the heavy lifting will be done by your contact management system. Magic will happen, of course, in conversations. My objective here with leads is to have a conversation. My objective with a prospect is to get together, to have an appointment, to get an appointment. Then the third part will be my past clients and my sphere of influence. So I have these three groups organized. And then, of course, there will be subgroups because you're going to have a different campaign going for, let's say, expired listing than for sale by owner. Some overlap, of course, is okay. But because the psychology is different, that's why I have two different systems. I have the FizBorino system for FizBos, and I have the expired system for expired plus system for expireds. So you have these campaigns going, and you start moving them through conversations, through following up, building trust to a prospect. Some of these prospects you're going to convert into appointment. This is going to be buyer appointments and seller appointments. That's the objective. That's how you move them up. Is that making sense? So I'm collecting leads. They're going into a contact management system. The main purpose of the contact management system is to build trust, to keep in touch so they know who you are, they recognize your voice, your name, your face, they are familiar with you, and they trust you. From there, some who are ready, we're going to move to either a buyer appointment or a seller appointment. Then, of course, the purpose of that appointment is the ultimate objective, to serve our clients and make money. And sometimes we kind of forget this, that we're in the profit business. You're in the business to make money. You serve your clients, you find your clients, you build connection with your clients, you serve your clients, you earn money. And if you're not earning money, it's one of four things. Either your mindset is off, or your skill, or your systems, or you're not taking consistent action. And sometimes it's a combination. Either you don't believe you belong in this business, you have what it takes. You don't trust yourself, you believe you're not good enough. You don't believe you deserve the big bucks you can earn. So it's either the mindset, or you have the mindset, it's just your skill is lacking. Maybe your communication skill, maybe your presentation skill. It's all set of skills. Or maybe you do have the skill, you do have the mindset, but you're lacking the system. You're just kind of driving blind, like with your lights off. You don't really know exactly what is my next step, what is my next step, what do I mail, what do I text, what do I say. That's why I build those systems. Majority of what you would get from me if you do the path with me, the coaching program, or you order these systems is a sequence. This is what it takes to convert a FSBO or expire, just like Anna did. Or you have all these, you have the system, you have the mindset, you have the skill, but you're just sitting on your ass because you're comfortable. Either the goals are not pulling you, or not excited, how much more money you can make, how much more you can serve, how many more clients you can help, or you're not miserable enough. You know my story. I was miserable. I was homeless. So I had a big fire lit up under my butt. This is what it takes. So that's how you set up your lead organization, your lead system. And then it's just a matter of spending 50% of your day right here. This is the money world. And then spending some time here on your follow-up. Because you can have all the most beautiful lead generation and feeding it into the system if you're not keeping in touch with them. The majority of the conversations, the majority of the conversions to appointments will happen through your follow-up. And if one of these is broken, or both, you're not getting the dollars. It's as simple as that. Is it helpful? Ah, little cappuccino. Yes, baby. It is not that complicated. And I'm not saying it's easy. If it was easy, everybody would be making $500,000. I'm not saying it's easy. But I'm saying it's doable. It's totally doable. My belief is, this is my core operating belief on which I base my training, my company, my mission, is that every single one of you can do this. Every single one of you has the potential to succeed in this business with the right mindset, the right systems, the right skills, and taking action. Not everybody who says they want it really want it or is willing to pay the price, because there's always a price. Being broke, there's a price. Having a 9-to-5 job, there's a price. Being an average real estate agent, there's a price. Being a superstar, rock star, making hundreds of thousands of dollars, there's always a price. There's always a price. Always, always, always. You have to choose. What are you willing to sacrifice, and what are you going for? You need to decide if it's worth it. And if you say yes, if you raise your hand, yes, it's worth it, help me, I'm ready to help. Come do the path with me. It's an ongoing training where you get all my systems, my support. Here's the URL, go check it out. GoBorino.com. Or you can do it on your own. My point is, don't stay stuck. You can't be doing the same thing and expect that all of a sudden it's going to magically work. Figure out, where is it broken? What do I need to focus on? You need to master these. How you communicate, what steps you need to take, what it takes. You need to master that. Then you need to have some tools in place, some marketing, follow-up tools. Then you need to have a CRM in place, because without it, it's not going to go straight to dollars here. You need to have this in place, and then mindset, skills, systems, and taking action. That's how we set it up. So here's what I want you to do. Get this list from me. Just give me your email. Tell me where to email it. We will do it this afternoon. Go through it. Spend maybe 10, 15 minutes analyzing, sifting through it. Decide I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Hint? Just do that. And then decide, where do I start? What is my first step? which lead source am I going to master? Then which lead source? Then which lead source? Then which lead? Then what do I have to do as far as my CRM? Is it working? Am I building connections? Am I building trust with these people? Most of them will require some level of trust and connection with you before they say, yeah, come on down, we want to sell our house. It doesn't happen overnight in most cases. So be okay with that. It's a process. But because you keep stuffing that pipe, these leads just keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Some convert right away. Some will take a little time. Some will never convert. But you just don't know which ones are which. Because sometimes people don't know. Because very often they make very emotional decisions on the spur. They change their mind. We all have seen that. It's a crazy business with lots of emotions up and down. But because you just keep diligently working up here, feeding it down here, it's going to trickle down here. And here's the best part. You say, instead of, I'm making it up, $200,000, next year I want to make $300,000. I want to get a $100,000 raise. You know where the secret is? Right here. Put more through here. More is better. And if you want me to help you, I'm happy to help. Yes? Is that helpful? Any questions about it, my friends? All right. Kilby says, good. Thumbs up from Kilby. Mike says, thank you, Borino. My pleasure, Mike. Glad you enjoyed this. Catherine is right. Yeah, it is a drunken monkey. It's this little guy here. I actually have a picture of him. Captured, drinking. That's a little bastard. It will lead you astray. It's very dangerous because we've been trained and conditioned to listen to that little voice in your head that can introduce doubt and fear and insecurity and not good enough feeling. You know why I know that? Because I had that for a very long time. I struggled with it for a very long time. You know, I'm an immigrant. I don't speak the language very well. I don't know much about real estate. I don't deserve all that money. I haven't gone to college. I haven't studied it hard enough. There are other agents who are better than me. I used to believe all that stuff. And you wonder why I was broke. Be very careful. That's why I always start with mindset. Even when you join the path, one of the first things we're going to do is get your mindset right. You're going to get a book from me called The Money Mindset. But Borino, you're so materialistic. It's not just about the money. I agree. But the shit you want to accomplish, the nice things you want to do for others, for your kids, family, friends, and other people, strangers, if you want to be charitable, is great. But all of that will first require for you to be right. It's just like on an airplane. When I fly a lot, the drill is always the same. You know, they tell you, in the case of an emergency, an oxygen mask will drop down. After you shit your pants, put that mask on your face. But what did they tell you if you travel with kids? What do they say? Do you remember? You got to put it on yourself first. You got to rescue yourself first. Because if you're suffocating, if you're dying, you ain't going to help anybody. It's the same here. Help yourself. And then you can help others. Then you can support your family, friends, and everybody else. But you got to figure this shit out first. I'm here to tell you you can. I'm here to tell you I can teach you this. I've become very good at teaching others how to do this. You still have this part. You need to take action. Whether it's to sign up for my training, order my system, or just get out and hustle. Either way is fine with me. Just don't sit on your butt. There's plenty of opportunities. Over 5 million transactions closed this year. That's the projection. You know how much business that is? All around you. Just look at the MLS. Doesn't that just break your heart where people list with other agents? They would be better off with you. That's what I always believed. I'm the best thing that can happen to my clients. They should be with you. So 1 a week. Do 1 a week. You know how much business that would be. You know what kind of lifestyle you would have if you could do 1 listing a week. I'll show you. I'll show you the path. That's why I call it the path. Yeah. All right, friends. Very good. Let's see. Good stuff. Stacy says it's good stuff. And when Stacy says it's good stuff, it is good stuff. Let's see. It's all about your why. Your why must be bigger than your fear. Absolutely, Stacy. And the fear will be there. I still have fear sometimes. Trust me, I do. But I have to do shit anyway. Mike says, most expired listings that I call do not get through. I then send a quick video text and also send out expired postcard. Your thought. Great question, Mike. I will do a separate training session just on how to fix this. How to do expired listings. Have you noticed the new update? For those of you who are on iPhone, did you notice that new iOS 13 just came out recently? There's a little feature kind of buried in the phone setting that mutes all phone calls of people who are not on your phone list, who the phone does not recognize, go straight to your voicemail. You notice that? I just noticed it this morning. It goes straight to your voicemail. You know what that means? that your ability to connect with strangers over the phone is going bye-bye. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. The technology is putting active barriers between you and your prospects. Now, I'm a firm believer. If you have good intentions to help clients, then it is perfectly all right for you to reach out and offer that help. I'm not saying violate rules and get in trouble. That's not what I'm saying at all. But if the technology is putting these barriers on, you got to stay creative. So here's, Mike, what I would suggest. If you're having trouble getting people on the phone, you got to be creative. You got to open more channels, because expireds are still a great opportunity. Because if you can't get hold of expireds, what makes you think you're going to get hold of other people? So what you can do is call them first, then text them if you can, then email them if you have their email. Hit them on a social media if you can. Video is fantastic, by the way. I'm a huge, huge believer in video. Hey, you're watching video right now. What does that tell you? Video works. So send them a video. Mail them something if you can, but here's the best part. Most agents won't do it, which is your advantage because you're an action taker. Go visit them in person. Find a window where you think I'm going to have the best opportunity to meet them in person at home. Knock on the door, have an expired package. The Expired Plus comes with a full package for expired listings that you can customize, personalize. You can either leave it there if they're not home, then follow up, or if they're there, have a little conversation with them, bam, you can lock them in. I got many expired listings doing just that. Because as you'll see in your area, it's probably just like my area, most agents don't do that. They're afraid, they don't know how, they don't have the tools, they don't have the knowledge. You do, okay? And you just keep in touch, keep in touch, keep in touch, keep in touch, keep in touch. Don't give up. Don't give up. Again, stats. Look at stats. Check your MLS. Some expired listings go back on the market. Some right away, some a little later, some a lot later. But many of them do. Make sense? Is that helpful, Mike? So open all the channels. The more communication channels you can open, including LinkedIn, Facebook, all of these, the better. ¿Está bien? All right. Douglas likes this. Douglas says, great stuff. Good, good. Glad it was helpful, Douglas. All right, my friends, here's the URL one more time. It's called The Path. It's my training program. Go to goborino.com. Or if you just want the expired system, you don't need my training, you can get the Expired Plus. Let's see, where do I have it? Oh, here it is. I dropped it. You get this book and all the marketing materials. You get my advice, how to do it, all the languages there, dialogue, scripts, the marketing resources that you need, the follow-up libraries there, the sequences, all of that. This is Expired Plus. Go to expiredplus.com, order it, get it in the mail. You know what I'll do? I'll send you a link to my calendar. I will even help you set it up if you order today. Yeah? Just get it. expiredplus.com. I'll help you. I have the same thing for FISBO, fizborino.com. All these systems are available. I mean, you can build these yourself, but why would you? If for just a few bucks, you can get them from me all done and ready. Copy, paste, ready to go. All right, friends, thanks for being here today. I really appreciate it. We're going to do more of these. I have some cool lineup for you next week. Let me tell you real quick what's coming next week. Looks like my man David Sherpa and I will be talking about buyers. Now, here's a ninja real estate agent, active agent down in Southern California in a very competitive market who crushes it when it comes to open houses and buyers. He's going to show you some pretty recent, awesome new tricks to convert buyers into clients. Then we're going to have a inspector, house inspector. How many of you had a great listing, went under contract, then the inspector showed up and the deal blew up? Plenty, right? How to protect yourself, how to prevent the disasters, whether you're representing buyer or seller. A lot of insights from the inspector's perspective. I'm really looking forward to that one, plus more coaching. There is a For Sale by Owner boot camp coming. There is an expired boot camp coming with your coach Borino. There is Presentation Plus 2.0 coming. Plenty of good stuff for you, all to help you. Because here's my mission, just like Anna posted, just like this. My goal is for all of you to have this kind of success. This is what I want for you. To have clients, to have listings, to make money. And if I can support you in any way, please let me know. Reach out. Whether you buy my stuff or not, it doesn't really matter. We're friends. I'm here to help you. Some of you will, some of you won't. Just like your prospects. Some of you will become clients, some won't. Make it. You have the chance, you have the opportunity. It's in your hands. Thanks for being here. I'll talk to you real soon. Coach Borino signing off. Let's go get him. Ciao.